Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Or if you're joining us for the first time, I'm Hanan.
And I'm Lina.
And we are Obnoxiously Pleasant. Thank you guys for joining us. This is episode, what, 3? 4? 4? I can't believe it. Episode 4. We've been working really hard on this, so I'm very excited for us.
Yeah.
Right?
If you guys saw what we do behind the scenes to make this happen, whether it's with our schedule or the actual
It's hard work.
Scenes.
It's hard work, but it brings us so much joy.
Yeah, especially after all of you guys who've sent comments or just text messages or emails, whatever. Thank you so much. Like, we really appreciate it.
We really do. It has been, I was telling Lina yesterday and today, and we had like a one-on-one. It's like our quasi pseudo planning session that we like to do. And
wait, what do you mean? You never called me.
That's true. I didn't call her.
Yeah, she. Did you mean the day before?
The day before, when we talked for like an hour.
Okay, because yesterday she was supposed to call me, and I'm like,
I went out.
She was having fun with her fun time friends.
No, they're actually my real friends, but it's not just that. Just to let you guys know, she always does that because she thinks I'm loud. Oh my God.
Dude, editing this is a nightmare.
It is because I'm like, yeah, but anyways, no, I went out yesterday, and you guys know from the last episode, if you watch the last episode, she doesn't do anything at night, okay? So
that's not the point. The point is you were supposed to call me, okay? And then this morning, I get this message like, I thought you were sleeping.
She wasn't sleeping. I knew she wasn't. She's a night owl. Anyways, I just wanted to begin before we get into the topic of today's episode, which is, do people change, right? We just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed, commented, engaged with any of our content on Instagram. I'm going to plug us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
TikTok. Soon we're going to have some fun stuff for you guys. But we totally messed up the intro, but we're going to go with it because Hanan has to pick up her kids at 5. So
my kid and a friend's kid. So that's like double the responsibility.
So the intro was supposed to be, hello, welcome guys. We're going to discuss do people change? And then we just went off on
We always do that. But
tangent.
That's exactly how we talk. And that's why you guys are here. You're here for it, right?
Exactly.
But before we get into today's topic, I just wanted to say thank you. A whole just heartfelt thank you. You guys have no idea the amount of positive comments that we've gotten.
And it makes us feel awesome
and motivated.
Yeah.
It's really uplifting. It just brings all this amazing positive energy into our realm, and I'm here for it. So thank you.
Yeah.
Now,
you guys.
On to today's topic.
Okay. No, wait. Before we go on to today's topic, I just want to while editing these episodes, because she doesn't edit either.
I know.
She just shows up.
I'm the talent. We discussed this.
So anyway, every single episode you've mentioned our age. So now, every time you mention our age, you have to give me $5 every single time you mention our age.
We're 41. 40. Actually, she's just mad because she's older than me. I haven't turned 41 yet.
Whatever. I'm older than you by 4 months.
Yeah.
Calm down.
4 whole months.
I'm older than you, so you have to have respect.
Whatever. 4 months. Anyhow.
Yeah, let's see.
Are you ready now for this week's topic?
Just pay attention. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, are you ready, ma'am?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right. Let's get into this week's topics, which is not topics. I can't talk today. Yeah. Topic, which is, do people change? What is your opinion on that? Because I have a really strong opinion on the word change in general. So before I give my opinion, I'd love to hear yours about change. Do you see that as an essential part of growth? Or do you feel like it's harsh? Do you feel like it is difficult to go through? I just kind of want to hear your opinion on whether or not you think you've changed, right, in life. I'm sure you have, and I kind of know a little bit. But do you think people are actually capable of that?
Well, I think there's change in terms of personality. No, I don't think people change their personality.
Okay.
Do people change their habits and the way they do things? Yeah, I think so. And I think people can change their views on certain things. When it comes to politics, it's a little bit difficult because, people are just, you're either this way or that way, no matter how much you try to convince the other person. So I don't think so much it's politics, but I think in terms of just your views on life and maybe certain issues that when you were younger, you thought, this is how it is. But then with life and with experiences, you end up realizing, hey, no, maybe this is not. I think in that regard, yes. But in terms of personality, no. You don't change.
I love that because I honestly, to a certain degree, I agree with you.
Okay.
For me, change, the idea of change in general, people find change to be really difficult. I feel like change is really abrupt. And it's funny, and I had told Lina earlier the story about me coming up with the word abrupt.
Yeah.
I wasn't the one that came up with it. It was my husband 2 nights ago when her and I were talking on the phone. I said, I find change to be really difficult.
Yeah.
Because it's just, and I kept going like this to him. I was like, what is this? It's just, this is change. This is
Yeah.
change. And so he went into the bathroom and came out and he goes, abrupt. You're looking for the word abrupt.
Yeah. Notice
And
how he had to go to the bathroom to come out and get these grand, because I always get my grand ideas after the bathroom.
Yeah. So thanks to Mahmoud. Shout out to him for that one. But no, I always feel like change is difficult. It's especially like it puts a lot of pressure on you or the other person that you have expectations of. I like to think of it as like we evolve through life, right? And I agree with you on personality, but I think even your personality like evolves.
Yeah, you evolve. I think so. Yeah, you evolve. But I think in general, you can't like, okay, maybe you're going to go later on to this discussion, but you can't change someone. The only control you have is over yourself.
That's very true.
You know?
I wholeheartedly agree with you on that.
And there's a lot of issues when it comes, when you're with a significant other who does things and you're just like, and we're not talking about annoying things.
Yeah. Just in general.
Like actual, detrimental to the relationship things.
I agree.
So if you're expecting that person to change, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that, because you know what made me think of this week's topic specifically on do people change is last week when we were talking about toxic friends.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it's like you were saying earlier, no, people can't change their personalities.
No.
And I think it is like, look, I like to look at it as evolving, right? Like we all evolve, because for me, evolving is an iterative process. So you are allowed to kind of go through these motions and figure out who you are. And I think a lot of times when you're experiencing this change or this, you're evolving, people can see it as, you're being selfish or, and it was really the issue of toxic friends that kind of made that light bulb come on for me. I'm like, yeah, a lot of times when you leave people behind is because they don't appreciate like the process of you evolving, right?
I mean, sometimes
it's like sometimes they're just assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they're just nasty people that you need to get rid of.
But sometimes they're not, though, right? Sometimes they're not actually toxic at all, and sometimes they're people that you actually love and care for, but they just don't appreciate the process.
I see where you're going with this. I think sometimes some people are at different stages in their life.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, totally.
And so some of us get there to another stage at a sooner time or a later time than others.
Very true.
And maybe that's because I've had friends who left and then came back.
Did they come back as better people?
Yes.
Okay.
I had one. Okay. I had one experience with that.
Okay. Yeah.
So and that was a pleasant surprise. Like it was actually, I was like, oh my God, this person is even more awesome than when before.
Yeah. But see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like that's what I consider evolving, not changing, right? Because I don't want to say I don't believe in it. Like I said, I just think change is
But the personality is still the same.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. The personalities don't change.
So I need you to explain that to me a little bit, because I feel like sometimes people's personalities do evolve. Because I feel like sometimes people do come back as completely different people. Are you saying they're just lying?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't think, because once you reach a certain age, and like I mentioned this before in the last episode, once you reach a certain age, I think it's very difficult to change who you are as a person.
I don't think,
because you have certain traits and characteristics.
But I don't think you're changing as much as, like I said, you are like evolving. Like sometimes there are things about myself, right, that I may have been okay with, like say 5 years ago, that I'm not okay with now. Am I the same person? No, but I feel like maybe life experiences kind of shape your personality a little bit.
I understand what you're saying, but you aren't the same. Okay, you're still the same fun, outgoing, loving, caring Hanan. That hasn't changed.
That's true.
Okay.
She makes a good point.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. and I'm still annoyed by people, like I was 20 years ago.
Yeah, she was. You actually, you know what? She has evolved. She's more annoyed by people than she was 20 years ago.
It's gotten worse.
Yeah, it has gotten worse.
Listen, I think if people make an actual, look, I think some people can.
Yeah.
But the percentage of that is very small.
Yeah.
I just don't think your average person, unless they have a huge event happen in their life that kind of makes them, kind of shakes them at the core. I don't
think so?
No, you don't think?
No, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like people were one thing, at some point in their lives, and they evolve into something completely different. And I think throughout that process, there are things that happen to you that other people may not appreciate, but like people who are with you, for this ride, who like your ride or die, right? So like, yeah, I am the same, for example, fun, loving person I was when I first met you 20 years ago, right? But don't you feel like there are things about me that have changed, right? Maybe, yes, not my personality at its core, but I feel like there are events that have shaped my personality.
I don't think so. What has changed?
You don't think so?
What did you change?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, you have curly hair now.
That's true. I have curly hair now.
No, but like, tell me
I feel like I was way more tolerant of a lot of BS in my life that I'm no longer tolerant of. No, and I feel like life taught me that. Like, I feel like I've had some
you're right.
experiences.
But that's a female thing, I think.
Oh God. No, people have.
No, you know why? Because we as women in general, whether it's at, work or with our kids or in any relationship we have, we're always worried about what the other person is going to think or feel about us. We're always, exactly. And then eventually we get tired of doing that crap. And then we move on and we evolve. We're like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm sorry. I'm going to say the S word. I'm tired of this and I'm going to stop doing this. And yes, but is that really changing who you are at the core? You're just fed up.
No, you're not changing who you are. But I do feel like you get to a point where, and that's why I was saying, like, I don't think people change. I think people evolve. Like, I like the word evolve.
So elaborate more on the word. Like, what do you mean by that? Evolve.
Evolve. I feel like I said, change is abrupt. Evolving is an iterative process, right? Yeah, you are constantly working on some certain facets of yourself and you may make mistakes along the way, but I think eventually you arrive at the place that you want to go, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you make mistakes or maybe you get caught up in some situations that cause you to make these mistakes, or maybe these mistakes are people, right? It's when I say mistake, I don't mean like an actual event. I mean event, people, jobs, all kinds of things, right? But I feel like those changes, right? When you say like I'm working on myself or whatever, you eventually land where you want to go.
I think, okay, I understand what you're saying a little bit. I think for us, yeah, I mean, I think it's a natural process. Though, the evolution of a person.
I actually don't think so. That's the thing. I think it's actually you have to be way more self-aware than you want to be when you're working on
why?
yourself.
Because I think if I think the majority of people, and I don't want to hate on anybody, but I think the majority of people, and myself included, it's just easier to stick with what you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
You kind of fall into this, okay, I'm used to this, whether it's a horrible job you have or a bad relationship or whatever situation you're in. Sometimes it's just easier to go along with it than actually make an effort.
Yeah, I feel like it's really like to change yourself or to evolve. And I'll speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I feel like that's actually a much more difficult process than just being, kind of. For me, it's like I would feel like I'm stagnating if I didn't change certain things about my life that I didn't like, right?
I think when you say evolve, for me, like now I'm thinking you're saying this stuff and I'm thinking about it. Okay, yeah, people don't change their personality, but maybe I'm kind of seeing how people can evolve just from like everyday.
I mean, think about somebody like this, right? And think about somebody who like 10 years, and you have this person in your life, right? Who maybe 10 years ago, right? Maybe more actually. God,
like, see, I told you $5. Yes. You're giving me $5 every time.
I don't carry cash, Mom. I don't carry cash. Anyways,
there's something called Venmo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I somebody who like you specifically, you said yourself, okay, like this person I don't want in my life anymore.
Yeah.
Like this person doesn't understand me. This person has no idea, like, if I'm serious or if I'm joking, and they take everything super personally, and that's just not me. I believe it or not, Lina has a phenomenal sense of humor.
I do. But the problem is people think I'm serious because my face is pretty like, and then it confuses people.
But okay, so you don't have people in your life that I mean, I'm sure you do. People in your life that have evolved from the moment that you met them, they're very different.
Yeah. Like I said earlier in this episode, there was a person who came back into my life. And
so just for reference, because I don't know this person. So just for reference, was this like a childhood friend or like an early childhood or like early adolescence or like early adulthood?
I would say early adulthood.
Okay.
Yeah. So this person, we had a falling out over something stupid.
Okay.
Okay. And then, we just didn't talk to each other for years. And then this person came back into my life, and it's like we never stopped.
Missed the beat.
Yeah.
But that means that person changed something about themselves.
And that person made an effort to approach me and to speak to me. And I've never been happier than, and I think
that person has evolved. That's what I'm saying is that person has evolved.
You're right. Now the idea is growing on me. I think you're getting there and convincing me that people can, I think you can't say people can change, but evolve, yes. Because I think like when you evolve, it's a much slower process.
But that's my whole point is
I don't believe abruptly
I don't believe people can change. I believe people can evolve. Yeah. Because yes, change means that, like you were saying earlier, at your core, something's going to be different. Yeah. Evolve is an iterative process. You are slowly working on aspects of yourself that you may not like, but that are in your control to change, right? Yeah. So since we always try to be helpful, right? We try.
Sometimes,
I said on the first episode, you're going to get some advice. I don't know if it's going to going to be good, but you're going to get some
advice.
Well,
I said, we're going to try to give you guys advice. And then she completely took a whatever on it. Go ahead.
No. But for me, I'll tell you, I'll share with you folks my sort of journey, right? Like what I was focused on when it comes to things about myself that I don't like, that I want to make better. And we all have stuff about ourselves that we don't like, right? Like,
I mean, I love myself the way I am, but
you are such a freaking liar. Liar, pants on fire.
I'm joking.
Okay, yeah. But no, we all have things about ourselves that we know we can improve on, right? Whether it is something sort of like, I'm not talking about like just morals and values. No, I mean everything, right? So for me, I think it's like when I started to realize that I can't become a different person, but I can improve certain things about myself that are holding me back from being better, right? So I think the first step of that is me realizing that I don't really actually care about people's opinions. It's about how I feel about how something makes me feel. Like, what does this thing mean to me?
Yeah.
So, for example, right, society tells you like you need to be thin. I'm happy in my body. Could I be 10 pounds lighter? Could I be 20? And this is something super physical, but obviously physical manifests emotional and vice versa.
That's true, yeah,
right?
Of course.
But I realized that like, I'm cute. I look good.
You look amazing.
Thank you. Beautiful. I look good. So like, why should I care if people tell me like, oh, you'll be, and by the way, that's like a huge thing in like Middle Eastern culture. You'd be so cute if you were just a little thinner. You'd be so beautiful if this. But it's like, why the if? Like, I'm happy with me. So then when I stopped stopped caring and being like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to dress the body that I have. And that's like I said, something super. Some people might not think that that's something really expensive, but I know it is. Like your body image issues are like huge, right?
Yes, of course. It plays a big role in your confidence, and your self-esteem, and it affects people in every facet of life. I think if you don't have a good self-image. Is that the word? Is that the way? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, like an image, like a good image of yourself.
Yeah, then it's gonna affect your relationships. It's gonna affect you at work. It's gonna affect you with your kids because it's gonna be like gnawing at you at the back of your head.
Yeah. So for me, it's one thing when I said to myself, I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm never gonna be thin. Like, I'm never gonna be thin. But maybe for me, dressing myself in the best possible way that I can for me is going to make me happy. Yeah. And I think like once that light turned on, and that's what I mean by an iterative process. Yeah. Like I had years of like yo-yo dieting. I've had years of trying every fad that's out there. Then you come to realize you're like, I look amazing.
Yes,
I look amazing.
She does. She's amazing. She's beautiful.
I look amazing. And I like, for me, when I started feeling like I look amazing and kind of exuding that, you're like, okay, you know what?
Your entire, I think,
demeanor
changes. And demeanor
changes.
Yeah,
your demeanor changes. You carry yourself with more confidence. So that's just like one thing for me that like it was huge for me. Like my whole life, I've been like super chunky my whole life. Like if you've known me since I was a child, like I've always been, there's some extra cushion for the pushing. But once I realized like, you know what? No, this extra cushion like makes me who I am. And you build confidence around that. You're like, you know what? This is actually like, I appreciate this part of me, but it took a while to get there. I'm not going to lie.
Everybody that's true. I mean, you've evolved.
Yeah. For me, I've evolved. I've evolved. And I think a huge part of that, like I said, is blocking out what people are saying and just listening to what you want. And I feel like that's sort of like step one in starting to change things about yourself that you don't like.
You know what? We didn't mention, are we done with this topic? Because I have something else to talk about.
What? This topic? Do people change?
Yeah.
Are we done with this topic?
I don't know.
It's this episode. Go ahead. What are you talking about?
Because I'm upset. I'm upset that she didn't even mention my hair today, guys.
Oh my God, Lina got her hair done. She did.
Yeah, so no more gray hair, guys.
Yeah, no, it looks amazing. But honestly, she was rocking the gray hair.
Yeah, and I'm seriously thinking of letting the gray hair go.
We have one friend, shout out to Shireen. Shireen, I know you watch. One friend who did that. She became a silver fox a few years ago. It looked amazing on her.
I think I might do that eventually. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, you'll get there in time. See, you're gonna evolve. You're gonna evolve.
I have evolved. Like I just don't care.
Yeah. But that's a huge that is evolving, and I don't think it's so much that I don't care. I think it goes back to the first point I was making, which is you're now tuning out like negative things.
I think now, and maybe that just I don't know. I think with all of our experiences, we just realize the only person you really need to impress is yourself.
Yes, I completely agree with you. I really think that is phenomenal. when what you just said, which is you realize that you only have to impress yourself. And I feel that's part of that journey that we were talking about earlier, which is, you know, you kind of start to look inward and figure out what makes you happy. And it is. And that's why I always say evolving. It truly is a journey. And a lot of times when you're like on that field trip, that journey, a lot of people just don't get it. A lot of people think you're going through something.
Yeah, but I think what's important for us to kind of highlight is, like I said in the beginning, just don't try to change anybody.
Oh my God!
They don't want to change.
Please. Yeah, but that's part of you being on that journey, Lina.
Yeah, but if it doesn't come from within that person, don't expect that, because a lot of people fall into that trap. Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm gonna change him. Oh, I'm gonna change her, and then they get like the surprise of their life.
I know, because because people don't change. They evolve.
And when you get married to someone, you gotta love the crust. The nastiness, the everything, because at the end of the day,
I'm gonna make that into a t-shirt. When you marry someone, you gotta love the crust.
Everything, in, out, like the nastiness with the good stuff.
I agree.
Because they're just not gonna change.
But that's everything. That's even when you take on somebody and you become like super close friends.
Yeah,
you have to like love the crust. I agree. Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. No, you shouldn't try to change anybody. But that's why I always say, like,
work on yourself. Yeah. On improving yourself. And it doesn't even have to be change, just improve yourself for yourself, not for anybody else.
So when you're going through that process, okay, just to go back to my previous point, when you're going through this process, this iterative process that we're talking about, evolving, do you think it's okay to leave people behind?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Like, people shouldn't feel guilty, right?
No, because you know what, and I think like we had an experience early on as well, where this one person was at a different part in their life. Yeah. And I think you know who I'm talking to. And it caused so much issues. And I'm just like, I'm good. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Yeah. Okay. Because we're at different times or parts of our life. And it's nothing against that person.
But I also think it's like it's not just being a time, it's like when you are going through that process of changing yourself, I think a lot of times you need to weed certain things out, right? In order to feel like you are accomplishing the goals that you set for yourself.
But even if you weed that person or things out, that it doesn't mean they're out forever.
No. I think that it's out
person, you know, sometimes they can catch up, or sometimes you catch up with them. And sometimes you're like, you know what, those things don't matter to me anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes your paths just don't ever cross again, to be completely honest with you. Just to like kind of go recap really quickly, I do not believe that people can change. I do, however, believe that people can evolve. And I think it's really important to figure out what you need to make that process happen. It doesn't happen overnight. It truly, it is a journey. It's a journey. Yeah. And I mean, I'm still on it. You're still on it. We evolve. I truly believe that we evolve throughout the entirety of our lives, like until the day that we die. Right. And so you just have to figure out, like, where does that process begin for you? And I really think it's just, you know, blocking out. For me, the way I started this was blocking out things that I knew were holding me back. Right. And so holding me back from a series of whatever, right? Can you not check your phone?
Sorry.
Here I am having another epiphany, and she's checking her phone.
Well, you know, I'm still actually working. Sorry. I mean, we need to wrap it up anyway. We're at like 32 minutes.
Anyways, we love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Maybe you're just going to say goodbye like that?
Well, what do you want me to do? Miss, I'm still working. I really hope you found this episode useful, or at least it entertained you if you didn't find it useful. And I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to see some engagements from you. We would love.
Yes.
She would love to read some emails from you.
Well, some of us actually respond to people who leave comments.
I do only on Instagram. That's what I'm responsible for. I'm the talent, and I'm responsible for Instagram. She does everything else. But thank you for stopping by. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.